Hey everyone, welcome to our weekly Wednesday Deep Thinker. It's a 30-minute session where we talk to some of the thought leadership individuals in tech and across a bunch of different categories. This is being live streamed across LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. And today's topic is about the subscription economy and how to do customer care and billing. And today we have a very special guest who I've worked with in the past, and I will be adding him right now. And our guest today is Vijay Sajja. He is the CEO and the founder of Evergent. They're in California, and they've got a development team offshore. And they have a very interesting service that is truly carrier class in that, they work for some of the largest telcos in supporting not just monetization schemes, but product catalogs and helping them do quick time to market offers, allowing the marketing team to be creative and offer products the way consumers want to digest things, such as over-the-top video. So welcome, Vijay. If you could give me a few minute overview on yourself, the company, and how you guys are different from, some of the household names of PayPal and Stripe and folks like that.
Thank you, Charles. Thanks for having me on the show. And it's good to be with you. A bit of background about our company. What we do is we provide user life cycle management solution for our customers. Half of our customers, as you stated, large service providers around the globe. Half of them today are large broadcasters, content producers. Let me start with why we did this, why we built this platform, right? So, I can speak to our entire team. We have a deep background in this place, and our journey started with addressing this problem for the cable industry, right? My first company, first customer was TCI, the largest cable company. They've been doing subscription billing for 30, 40 years, as you can imagine, right? So to this day, they love to hate what they have, inflexible.
Sure.
Doesn't let them do what they want to do in terms of launching new products, new services. True story, when we were working at one of these companies, the CEO wanted to launch a product in Kansas, and the IT department came back and said, "Look, we don't have enough product codes to launch." And then he was so frustrated with that, and he said, "Okay, I want to build my own." And they tried to build their own, and it was a difficult problem for them to solve, and they spent $150 million and they failed. And so that's where our journey started: is how can we build a solution or a platform that can, our idea was to replace all those inflexible back office systems, right?
Right.
So we built it at carrier grade, a highly flexible solution so that these operators and service providers can launch new products, new services very quickly. And then once it's launched, changing those products and services on the fly without needing to get a busload of programmers, etc.
Right.
That's what we built. You asked how we are different. And so the way we are different is that we built a full stack. It's called in the telco speak, OSS, BSS. It's from the time you take an order to fulfillment of the order to CRM to billing. So we built an end-to-end platform, not only end-to-end, but it's highly flexible. So today, if you look at what we have done, it's a cloud-based SaaS platform. We onboarded over 500 million users on behalf of our customers around the globe.
Wow, 500 million is what you're currently supporting?
Yeah, over the history of the company, we onboarded over 500 million users.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Huge.
Yeah, some of the services we were involved with are deployed in multiple countries. And so our journey is also quite interesting. So our initial success was in Latin America, then we
Right.
went to Asia, Europe, and finally we entered the US.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's usually the U.S. first, but U.S. was one of your later companies.
correct.
I view you guys as being the first company to pivot from the, on-prem spaghetti code,
Yeah,
6 months to get a change made,
right.
to pure cloud, agile.
Yeah,
When you get a request from the marketing team, it's something that could be implemented in hours or days, not months. And the other alternatives were these, monolithic
yeah,
applications that you bought from Amdocs or whoever, and you
right,
had, I don't know, a multi-million-dollar support budget a year.
right.
And so you were the first to pivot to cloud with the same level of sophistication for
Yeah,
BSS and OSS applications.
yeah. No, that's absolutely right. In terms of the breadth and depth of the functionality, you name a legacy provider in this space, we have the that length and breadth of the functionality.
Right.
But we're agile, nimble, and we can get it up and running very quickly. As you said, it's cloud based. A couple of examples are, we are working with the largest mobile operator in the U.S. And when they came to us, they needed to launch a new service
Right.
because these Netflix, Apple, Google, they're eating their lunch, and they wanted to launch a new service quickly. They went with their existing providers. They work with two providers that everybody knows, and
Right.
they pay $1 billion each year to these providers. They
Yeah.
have these 4 or 5 different stacks of these monolithic code base running on-prem, and they went to them and they said, a year and this much money. And when they came to us, we asked them what they're trying to do, and we essentially configured their business rules in our cloud platform. It's a multi-tenant cloud platform, and we showed it to them. Look, go play with it, and they were amazed. And we've been working with them for 5, 6 years now, and so that's kind of an example
Right.
on how we're different. Um, well, on the other side of the thing is, again, during this pandemic, we had a film festival wanting to go virtual, right?
Okay.
And from first meeting to production, we got them up and running in 4 weeks, right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
So
So that was
that's
the Chattanooga Film Festival.
yeah, that's
So it went
Chattanooga
off without a hitch.
without a hitch. And
Wow. That's great.
so I spoke to the two gentlemen, father and son team, that put together this every year, and they were really disappointed they couldn't do it this year.
Right.
And that's when they started looking at what are the other ways to do it. And after we made it successful, we partnered with on that one Microsoft and MediaKind. He said, it's amazing, and the one word he used, it's a
Yeah.
awesome miracle. He said, just so that's kind
Yeah.
of the to give you a sense of how nimble and flexible we are, is that we originally built it to carrier grade, but we can scale up and down
Right.
to any different any size of company. Yeah.
So I imagine some of the history of the company, the origins being agile, gets down to the culture of your employees,
Yeah.
being able to, reduce the bureaucracy and, set up agile development where, a request comes in on a Monday, someone vets it for being a legitimate request, and then you guys can jump on it. So, any comments about how you were able to build a culture that is customer focused, especially given that you have you have two locations, one in Hyderabad, India, and then the other in Northern California.
Yeah.
How in the world did you pull that off?
Yeah. So we had to be, quite innovative the way we built the product, the way we continue to enhance the product, and at the same time, the way we deploy customers, right?
Right.
So we never raised any money, and only this year we took a financial partner. Because of that, we had to be extra disciplined the way we did things. And the other thing is, when we started this journey, we came up with a set of core values. We live by them today. We look at them
Right.
very often. They are even etched in our office space. First one is always focus on value creation. The second one is
Sure.
work with people around the globe. And the third one is to dream big. Fourth is to be optimistic. And fifth is to always acknowledge current reality. If there's a problem, don't ignore it. Right?
So you have those well memorized. You didn't even look at a cheat sheet for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the team, I'm really proud of the team. We live by them. And also, we couldn't afford to have not a product. I mean, we were highly focused on a product. We wanted to have a flexible, configurable product,
Right.
and we have one code base servicing customers around the globe.
That
We have
helps.
customers in New Zealand, customers here, and they will use the same code base, one platform, right?
Yep.
So we had to be disciplined because we couldn't afford to have one team working on this and another team working on that. So the product is at the core of what we do,
Right.
making sure that even when we get a request from the likes of a big carrier, how powerful they are, and they say, "Hey guys, we need this tomorrow."
Sure.
We have the discipline to say, "Okay, you need this," and our team first thought is, "Hey, can we, do we make this part of the product? Right? Can other customers use
Right.
it?" So
Right.
so so that's the kind of discipline we put together. So we call it internally best of Silicon Valley, best of India model, right?
Oh, good. Yeah.
So we get the best brains here in the Valley. Our CTO is here, leadership team is here,
Right.
and we get the best of India. And we created a unique culture around it in terms of collaboration and taking care of customers
Sure.
and being customer centric. So that's what enabled us to get to a growing company, profitable,
Right.
and happy customers, more importantly, right? And so a separate story you would like to hear it is that
Sure.
our financial partner, without us knowing, they called on all of our customers and partners, and they
We do a
put
reference
together,
check on you guys.
yeah, and they put together an NPS score based on the feedback they got.
Oh,
Our
so
NPS,
they gave some metrics to it.
yeah, exactly, because
Yep.
these guys are spreadsheet guys, right? I mean, it's
Okay.
and they
All
said
the
that
bankers
our
on them.
NPS score was like 3 times the industry average, right? So it's so we have happy customers. It's
Yeah,
it all feeds on each other, right? And
it
good
does.
employees, good culture, good product,
Yeah, good
happy
market.
customers, and yeah.
So, given we're in the midst of this COVID environment,
Right.
let me run a little bit of a video here that I thought was kind of cool and
Yeah.
give our viewers kind of a look and feel of the Evergent work location here. So I'll
Yeah.
just pop that up for a few
Yeah.
minutes, and then
Sure.
we'll come right back.
Yep.
So I sure hope we can get back to that environment one of these days. And you know, I think my head is getting squished by wearing headphones.
Yeah.
8 hours a day. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what interesting trends are you seeing? Because I know you guys really focus a lot on video, video on demand, OTT. We went through the era of skinny bundles where I don't want to pay $300 a month for 800 channels and I watch four of them.
Yeah,
We get folks who want to do pay per view.
yeah,
And I think consumers are getting a little more savvy as
mm,
they have options.
yeah,
So, you can just move to YouTube full time, and that monetization for traditional service providers and
mm,
linear television is they've got to change or they're
yeah.
going to get their lunch eaten. So, any words of thought about new monetization models for video would be really helpful for the audience.
Yeah, so and of course, the subscription Netflix model, is here to stay.
Right,
What we are seeing is a bundling of these apps. Some of the service providers, and they're looking to offer a Netflix. And the interest for Netflix would be uh, they piggyback on the existing billing relationship these service
right,
providers have, and so they're going a little bit further to let's add Netflix, Hulu, and maybe Disney all together, right? And so things like that we're seeing, and these are again these service providers are they may not be in the video business. They want
right,
to leverage their existing billing relationship. The second one, we are seeing, and a trend that's going to happen more and more is really a focus on customer experience. Number
right.
one. And number two, around the video services, do you have good content or not? Right. That's number two. Um, the third one is, are we offering, to your point, are we offering what the customer needs? Right. You have a
Right.
lot of AI, machine learning, and all that these days. This is something we have done for one of our customers. Is that okay? Somebody is signing up in Indonesia. They're on a latest iPhone. They're on a Wi-Fi network.
Right.
What's the right product to offer? Now, this
Sure.
customer happened to have 40 different SKUs. You can really confuse him by offering too many products also, right?
Yeah, especially when you're on a mobile device and the real estate is so
Yeah,
limited
yeah,
that so I understand the
yeah,
content is king
yeah,
thing.
right,
Um, I understand recommendation engines, which
right,
most of them suck.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and what's bizarre is from my own personal point of view, if I have an evening, I
yeah,
still spend a half an hour
yeah,
searching for something to watch, and
right,
it's almost like word of mouth. It's like if someone I know trusted said, "Hey, you should check out this." Tiger King or whatever that thing was.
yeah.
So, are you getting involved into the behavior of viewers and then feeding that back in so that they can dynamically tailor offers? I'm just kind of wondering, you know, how do you know what I want to see, and then how are
Yeah.
you getting it in front of me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So where we are getting involved is two different areas. Given what we do is uh, allowing users to giving access to content, we manage entitlements.
Right.
Number two, we help them buy things. We handle the buying process, right, and the upgrade downgrade process, right. So
Sure.
so we have done a lot of innovation around making it less confusing, coming up with the right products that the customer would buy at that point in time based on what we know about the customer.
Right.
And so basically increasing the conversion rate. The number
Yep.
two, another aspect to this is what payment method they would use, right? In certain
Right.
parts of the world, you got 15, 20 different payment methods, right?
Yeah, you want it to be a frictionless checkout experience
Exactly.
for the user.
So, and again, we are using some AI, ML technology, and these algorithms learn over time, right? Uh, in this example, we had a lot of data already accumulated with the customer and the
Right.
users. So we trained these algorithms, and then we got it to a prediction level. And also our philosophy is do no harm. When
Right.
you are presenting, when you're plugging in this new technology or new algorithm during the buying process or buy flow, to make sure that it doesn't do any harm. So
Sure.
the conversion rate should remain the same or go up, right? So those are innovations in terms of the search and discovery. Where we get involved there is that we don't necessarily provide the search function,
Right.
but let's say
You're providing data that would feed that search function, I
yeah,
assume.
not only provide data but also seamless authentication.
Okay.
To give you an
So you
example.
know who you're talking to, right?
Yeah, exactly. For
Okay.
example, there's one a customer of ours. They aggregate a lot of these apps, OTT
Right.
app, let's call it, right? But they also provide a search function to search across the apps, right?
Right.
Let's say somebody searches for Game of Thrones, to use as an example, but it's provided by HBO. So when they click on it, they're at this global level searching for content.
Right.
And then, the opening that application automatically and playing the content and doing all the checking of entitlements in the background in that ecosystem
Right.
is what we do, right? Making it frictionless for, if you ask them to, hey, log in again, they get irritated, etc. How do
Right.
you make it seamless and make sure, so that's also something we have done. Yeah.
So I need to be a better live host here. I see
Yeah.
a lot of activity on the chat and comments.
Right.
One of them is interesting because I don't know how you answer this one.
Yeah.
ARPU, the revenue per user in China or India or Mexico is very different than the ARPU in Europe or North America.
Yeah.
So how do you offer the same content and at different prices given royalties and things like
Yeah.
that? I have no idea how that works.
Yeah. So what we find is that generally these services, let's say subscription VOD services, right?
Right.
They are priced differently in Asia, right? Whether it's India, China, or Philippines, whatnot, right? It's if it is $10 in the U.S. and
Right.
it could be $4 over there, right? Netflix is the only one that kind of they reduced, but not as drastically, right? I mean,
Right.
So I don't know how they manage the content contracts underneath.
Yeah, must be tough.
They do combine with the local content in that region. But we also, from our side, from a business point of view, the numbers are higher in Asia, and we don't try to charge the same price across the globe. One
Right.
size fits all price we don't have. Yeah.
Another question is
Yeah.
around retention, and I guess retention or reduced churn.
Yeah.
That's got to be a big issue for your customers because if you calculate customer acquisition costs, which are pretty high, you only want to spend that once, and so if you have a high churn, you have to spend more on marketing and advertising. So what are your comments on, how to get better retention, extend the average lifetime value of these viewers?
Yeah. So it's a great question, and it's front and center of a lot of our customers' thinking, and it's a big issue and a big opportunity also
Right.
for them, right? I mean, you can imagine even a couple of % of attrition churn each month, translates to 25-30% of loss or gain, depending on
Right.
whether you're not able to prevent. So again, in this area, we have done a good bit of innovation in terms of churn prediction using some of the latest AI machine learning
Sure.
techniques. And there's also involuntary churn, as you are well aware. Have they updated the credit card in time? If not, can you take care of it in the background?
Right.
Are there other expiry date, etc.
Sure.
But more importantly, predicting when at a reasonable confidence level, based on accumulation of data over time, and coming up with upgrade or downgrade or things like, okay, this customer we have a risk of losing.
Right.
Can we offer 2 transactional VODs free up to a value of $4
interesting.
a month,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So coming up with those suggestions, but also being able to implement them is also super important, right?
Right.
A lot of the platforms out there, it's really hard for them to implement kind of the promotion I just described to you.
Right. Oh yeah.
So for us, it's a matter of actual configuration in our platform, right? So
right.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I want to be respectful of everyone's time. We're keeping these to 30 minutes because everyone seems to be back to back. This has been a fantastic session to get us to know Evergent a lot better than the one size fits all payment gateways. You guys seem to have a much higher touch and much higher engagement with taking care of the end user in a way that gives them brilliant content that they love to digest on a recurring basis. So
thank you, Charles.
So thank you, Vijay. Really appreciate it. This will be uploaded, and then as a going out gift to everyone, I'm going to play a short clip of Vijay at a major IBM event that happened a little while ago. So we'll play that video and call it a wrap. So again, thanks, Vijay. Thanks, everyone, for joining in, and stay tuned for next week's event, and we'll give you a video on the way out. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
These are exciting times, and it's a great opportunity for technology companies to help the carriers and the media companies launch these differentiated services and grow those services in a consumer-friendly way. We work with IBM to help our customers grow their business by making the right offers at the right time, and also to prevent users from leaving the service they are on. We have a cloud-based user lifecycle management solution. We made it a configurable solution that allows them to launch a service. For example, they can say 30-day free or get an Apple TV device free along with the service. They can attract a lot of users onto the platform. We want to insert these artificial intelligence logic to predict user behavior, to prevent them from leaving. And more than that, for those users that are coming to the platform, what's the right offer to make, so that they sign up. Consumers are going to benefit a huge amount because they're going to get the content they want, when they want it, how they want to view it, ultimate choice at their fingertips.